EURAUD was the only trade I took last week. As you can see in the screenshot, I took it rebouncing off of a weekly open, and I decided to close it around the 50% mark of Fibonacci. This 50% mark measure the last 4-hour leg, so I decided to close it around here because I consider this trade as a counter trade. So, and I have a rule, and I decided to stick to my rule, which is closing as soon as we reach the discount zone of the Fibonacci level. Okay, so that was a win. So, but I missed the explosive move on pound USD and USD due to the explosive move on DXY. And by the way, this explosive move on DXY, we will see in a minute, was caused by after the Fed meeting. I believe it was on Wednesday, last Wednesday, where we have the new Fedman, the new chairman of the Fed, Kevin Wash, which clearly set the tone. The tone is hawkish, clearly. So note that we also have a peace deal which has been signed between United States and Iran. So we can check quickly if I pull out the US oil chart. Let's go down to the daily. You can see that we finally broke the resistance, the support, which was supporting price at elevated price around the 100, which was a expensive price and affecting the global economy. So we finally saw a drop of US oils. That means, yeah, we start to see a little bit of resolution in the Middle East. Okay, even though that I saw some headlines talking about Iran, Israel continue to bomb in Lebanon. So I don't know why Israel is continue, even though we have a peace deal signed. So we will see. We need to be very careful and cautious on those headlines. Yet, yes, we have a peace deal signed, but we never know, as I said. So let's analyze the DXY to prepare for the upcoming week. But before that, let's check really quick what important news we had this upcoming week. On Monday, I will keep my eye on inflation data on Canadian dollar on Monday. For those of you who trade Canadian dollar pairs, on Tuesday we had the growth data on Eurozone, Pound, United Kingdom, and also in United States. Very interesting, this growth data. Wednesday I will keep my eyes on inflation in Aussie, in Australia. Interesting. And towards the end of the week, we had the jobs data on Australia, and also some growth data, the final GDP quarter on quarter, and core PCA, which is another data of inflation in the United States. So that's pretty much the important news I will be looking for and pay attention. So let's go back to the DXY. So on DXY, as I said, after the Fed meeting Wednesday and the hawkish tone clearly of the Federal Reserve in United States, we saw a huge, it's not a breakout yet because you see we are in monthly time frame and the monthly didn't close, but it seems like we pretty much going to close it because we almost at the end of the month. And for me, I expect the closure finally above this level. You see this level reject many times and fake out us many times at this level, as you can see. So for me, I want to see a closure above and retest and continue to the upside. Finally target this imbalance and even more in premium zone. Okay, so yeah, we bring the story I talk about a long time, that this monthly demand will hold price and push it towards the premium zone. Okay, so let's go down to the weekly. So on weekly we already closed above the level. You see, we closed above the level last week. So this is pretty much a good sign. So what I want to see for the upcoming week is some sort of retest around this resistance becoming support and target the next level, which is this resistance and maybe this level right there. Okay, this will be my next target. On daily time frame, what do we have? Daily time frame, yeah, it seems like we already out of this range. Very interesting. So what I want to see, as I said, this is my daily structure. After breaking and closing above this level, this is my last daily order flow bullish. So I will be bullish from this low to these highs. Okay, so remember, after breaking this high we form some sort of channel which will be very interesting because we could potentially set um, a virtual target, something here, somewhere here at the top of the channel will be the next target. So want to see a continuation towards the top of the channel. Okay, so we have some imbalance here overlapping with the support and mentioned in higher time frame. So yeah, on 4 hour time frame, last week I talked about pay attention to this level. It seems like this level play out very well. You see, we pretty much rebounds off of this level, which is correspond also at this demand zone. So price held perfectly on this level. So this level was able to push and break price. Okay. So yeah, for the next week, as I said, what I want to see a return around this imbalance zone on discount zone, and then I will continue to buy the dollar. So yeah, long term I am pretty much bullish. So this will be very interesting. Finally, we break this long term resistance that cause and block the price in ranging situation. So yeah, I'm pretty much optimistic on potential opportunity for the upcoming weeks. Okay, so I'm bullish. Okay, move on Euro USD. Euro USD being bullish on dollar make me bearish on Euro USD. As I said, I mentioned this channel at the beginning, very beginning of my weekly market outlook. So if you go back to my last, pretty much the same thing I repeat. So I want to see a drop off on Euro USD. So it seems like last week we reached this first level right there, this support perfectly. Let's go down on weekly. On weekly, yeah, what I want to see is a retracement of this weekly structure, this last weekly leg. You see, a retracement around the discount zone 50% level. So I will not be surprised if USG continue to drop towards this level right there. Okay, this will be very interesting. Okay, so what do I expect for the upcoming weeks? So because we just break, remember, we just break the major resistance in on the dollar on the DXY. I will not be surprised if we see some sort of rebounds, so some sort of weakness on DXY, maybe coming retesting this level or even this level before continue to the downside. Okay, so that's pretty much what I am seeing right now. So I will very pay attention to this level. We are in a support right now, so it will not be smart to sell directly here because we have a support right there. So let's go down to the daily. Daily, we are still bearish. We didn't break and close below this low yet, but we will see if we close below this. This will be my future daily leg or daily structure. Okay, but right now it seems like we are rebounding off of this level. So very pay attention to this level. What will happen here for the upcoming week? Maybe expect some, as I said, some retracement around here before shorting again. Okay. I think it is the same on 4 hour. 4 hour we have this channel. You see, price is very in a downtrend. So yeah, I want to see some, yeah, as I said, some sort of retracement around premium zone before dropping again. Okay, that's my plan on Euro USD. Next pair is pound USD. So pound USD on monthly time frame, we can see if I zoom in, we've reached, as I said, this support level clearly. Let's go down to the weekly. On weekly, yeah, we close bearish. So yeah, because I am bullish on USD dollar long term, I want to see some continuation. So I mean, some sort of break of this level. Okay, but starting to sell here is not a smart idea because we are currently at a support level. So maybe I will wait a clear break, retest, and then I will be engaged in a sell again, or maybe wait some retracement before selling. So if you go down on daily, the daily structure is still bullish for me from this low to this high. You see, because we break and close above it. This is the movement. So yeah, pretty much what I want to see to be very fully bearish is a close, because we have some sort of demand here, close below this level, and then we could potentially see a retest and start to short again. Or what we can also do is wait some sort of return of price in discount on premium zone, excuse me, and then try to short again. In any way, the dollar is strong. My projection on dollar is bullish, so I want to short the pounds. Okay, so in 4 hours, this is the structure. We finally broke this level. You see, so I'm bearish from this high to this low. So expect some retracement If I take my Fibonacci tools and measure the last 4-hour leg, we could expect some return around 50% or even 61.8 around here to be able to short again. So that's what I will be looking for the upcoming week, to be able to short again. But my direction is the same. I'm still bearish, but I will pay attention to this level because I think we are oversold right now. So I will not exclude that we could see some sort of retracement before continuing lower. Okay, the best trade will be on this direction on shorts, but with a premium zone first. Okay, move on AUDUSD. So on Aussie dollar, we can see on monthly time frame that price is stuck on this support level right there. So I'm not excluded we can see some sort of rebounds before even a drop. So yeah, you can see clearly price is stuck right there. Now we need to see what will happen right there in lower time frame. So let's go down to the lower time frame. Lower time frame on weekly, if I zoom out, still bullish from this low to this high. We have break all these levels. So maybe what I want to see initially is some sort of retracement around a discount zone, but I'm not guaranteed that we could drop even lower, even though the US dollar is strong and bullish on USD dollar, because the Aussie is also one of the strongest currency right now. Remember, Aussie, the projection of Aussie since the beginning of the year 2026 is up. They want to rise rates, and remember, and you need to very pay attention. If you go back to the Forex factory economic calendar, we will see that we have important news on inflation data relative to the Aussie dollar. So maybe for me, I will see what happened after the news has passed, what happened and what opportunity will present to myself to be able to trade this pair. But however, if you go down to the daily is still bullish. You see, this is the structure. We are still bullish. So right now, we are bullish from this low to this high. It seems like price is hovering above the discount zone. So I will not be surprised if you see some sort of rebounds off of this level because we are in discount zone of this last movement. I will not be surprised if you see some rebounds there. So that's why I've said be very, very careful right there. But if I see price break and close below, I will not exclude that, yeah, we could see a continuation to the downside. And also keep an eye on inflation data and jobs data, which comes out this upcoming week. If we have bad data or lower on a higher unemployment and a lower creation of employment, we could see some weakness on Aussie, and this could be profitable for the dollar and make the Aussie dollar drop. But we are not there yet. Let's go down to the 4-hour. So on 4-hour, you can see, yeah, the trend is down. Okay, so if I measure this last 4-hour leg, last week I talked about waiting price return around this level because to me it's still this zone is still the best level to sell price because it's at a premium zone, and if we continue to see the strength of the dollar, this could potentially be a nice zone to short again Aussie dollar. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much what I see. So if you observe some weakness at the beginning of the week on the dollar, to be specific, we could potentially see some sort of rebounds here, maybe towards this level, and even though this supply zone. And I still think the best probability to sell is around here. Is a better zone here. But yeah, if we break, we form another 4-hour leg. I mean, we break and close below this level. Now we will have to change our plan and maybe project to sell around here. Okay, is a little bit conflictual because the daily higher time frame is bullish, but the 4-hour structure is bearish. So yeah, very, very cautious in this type of scenario. Look at the news, look at some news and trade based on what this type of news will bring as a volatility. Is it going to bring weakness, or is it going to bring some bullish buyers or some strength on this currency? Move on on Kiwi dollar. So on Kiwi dollar, we are in monthly time frame. Monthly time frame, we can see we have a lot of bear on this market. We pushing to the downside. Let's go down to the weekly. Weekly, I still think we are in a range on a higher time frame. So I don't have a specific direction. So let's go down to the daily. Daily is the same. I don't have a strong trend. So let's focus on 4-hour. 4-hour have a trend. You can see we form a trend because we break and close below this level. So I'm bearish, plus the fact that the dollar is strong. So I want to really pay attention to this level because it seems like we have some sort of demand. If I zoom in, you can see a huge explosive move right there, which leaves some imbalance. So for me, this is some sort of demand right there. So really be very careful right there. We could see some rebounds off of this demand. So yeah, maybe for the next week, what I want to see is some sort of return around this premium zone before continue to short again. That's what I want to see. The next one is USD yen. So USD yen, we are still bullish. Clearly, seems like we didn't tap yet this level, but I think we will tag this this level. So let's go down to the weekly. Weekly, you can see we have a pretty much a good retest, a respect of this support. So this support send the price even higher. So yeah, we are still bullish, but I'm still cautious on this pair because we are pushing an extreme zone, and at any moment we could potentially see a huge intervention of the Bank of Japan. So that's why I will stay away of this pair. Let's look at least at the daily. Yeah, the daily is up, but we could potentially trade it to the upside. But I need to see at least, you see this order block, I need to see at least a return down there before targeting these highs, but at a lower risk, because we, as I said, we are pushing extreme zone, so any intervention could happen right there. Okay, so very be cautious. On 4 hour, what do we have? 4 hour, yeah, we are bullish from this low to this high. As I said, wait a return around this level, even here, before taking a buy. That's pretty much all I see. Yeah, as long as we are not taking this high, there is a chance that we could potentially continue high. But if price take this high first, I will move this idea because we could potentially see a huge drop. Okay, but my best scenario on USD yen will be a return first in discount zone and then a push, not the opposite. Okay, move on USD CAD. So USD CAD, you can see we are bullish from this low to this highs. We finally we tap these highs as I mentioned on my last weekly markets. So we also have this level where we could potentially continue. I'm not so sure, but I think we are already overbought. So what I want to see is some retracement. Let's go down to the weekly. You see how this demand zone play its whole of supports perfectly. So yeah, I was expected a little bit of rejection off of this supply, but we didn't get it. Instead, we blow past this level clearly. So yeah, prove that a strong buyer in this market. So for me, for the next week, expect some retracement. I need to see some retracement somewhere here before taking a buy. Maybe targeting this level right there. Okay, let's go down to the daily. Daily, yeah, still bullish from this low to this high. Okay, I don't like this type of price action because it doesn't allow me, or it doesn't, yeah, it doesn't allow me to enter the trend perfectly based on my strategy. I need to be specific. Okay, on 4 hour, 4 hour, we are bullish. Yeah, this is a strong trend. This is a momentum. I not consider as a trend. This is a momentum. The momentum is very strong. A trend for me will be a peak and valley. Peak and valley. This is a trend where we could spot some sort of trend line. This is the type of environment I like. But something like that straight, we have very shallow retracement, not too much. It's very difficult for me to trade this type of environment. But to enter this type of market, we need to focus on lower time frame, I think. But yeah, what I want to see is some sort of return right there before taking a buy. That's it. The next one is USDCHF. So USDCHF, as I mentioned, we are in discount zone. We are very oversold. If for example, I measure the last weekly leg, we are in a discount zone. So for me, it's pretty much obvious that we could potentially reverse maybe around the 38.2%. And what I think and what I want to see is at least a return around the 50% zone. Okay. Okay, let's go down to the daily. On daily, let me zoom in. Yeah, the new daily structure has formed. You can see this is the new daily structure. We pretty much close above this level. So I will be bullish from this low to this high clearly. So what I want to see for the next week is a return somewhere here. Let me put what I want to see for the upcoming weeks is a return around here, somewhere here on this imbalance right there before continue to buy again the USD CHF. See how I mentioned this point of control, this gray zone. I mentioned it on my last outlook, market outlook. Wait for the break of this gray zone, and then after looking for buy. Well, seems like the scenario play out very well. So yeah, very interesting for the upcoming week. The direction is clear. We need to buy USDCHF. Let's go down to the 4 hour. 4 hour. I already mark up my setup. So yeah, want to see some sort of retracement and discount before continuation. That's what I will monitor the in the upcoming week. So let's finish with the precious metals. Gold. On gold, we are still bearish. The candle is very, very bearish. That's proof that there is a lot of seller in this market. Let's go down to the weekly. On weekly, we have, yeah, we are still around this demand zone, but note that we already test this demand zone once. We test a second time with this week, and then it seems like we are attacking again this support. So the more the support is attacked, the weaker it's become. I what That's what I think. So yeah, for me, I was expecting some sort of retracement around there before continuation, but it seems like yeah, price there's a lot of seller on this market, and if I had this other confluences, the yearly open, the blue line, which represent the yearly open, you can see price never close above this level. So this can be another, yeah, another confluence or confirmation that we could potentially be lower and trade lower this for next the next weeks clearly. So let's go down to the daily. On daily, we are bearish from this high to this low. So that's what I am thinking we could potentially continue. It seems like we are not going to break it, and the fact that USD dollar is continue to acting as a safe haven, the US dollar is strong, so I think we will continue to target the low. There's a lot of seller on this market. I don't see buyers here right now. Let's go down to the 4 hour. 4 hour, same thing. We are bearish from this high to this low. You see how we already retraced around discount premium zone, excuse me. So now price is dropping again. So yeah, very, very bearish. So I'm not so optimistic that buyers we're getting right now. So that's why I think I want to see maybe some sort of return right here or even higher before continue to drop. Yeah, I'll be bearish this week on gold. And let's finish with silver. I think silver, the same thing as gold, always go to this sometime, but always go to the same direction. So we are bearish on silver. You see how we didn't tap this level yet, so I think we still have room to target compared to the golds. So let's see on weekly time frame. You see we have this nice demand zone which is waiting to be tested. So I think I will prefer the silver because it's pretty much clear. We have a clear target here. So very interesting, and look how we react off of this imbalance zone. We reject this imbalance zone, so that's pretty much a good sign to see a continuation to the downside for me. So let's go down to the daily. So on daily, yeah, we are bearish. We are bearish. We didn't close below yet, but it seems like yeah, we could potentially continue to the downside. Clearly, let's go down to the 4 hour. So on 4 time frame, yeah, the structure is bearish. The structure is bearish. You see, but yeah, it seems like we are not going to break it. So what I want to see is another maybe a retest around here or even here, this imbalance, another retest around this imbalance before continue to the downside clearly. So that's pretty much it. My plan and my setup, my potential setup for the upcoming week. So if you like it, put a like, subscribe to the channel. That will help me know that you really appreciate the contents. Um, I said, be careful on the markets. It was Josue, the part-time trader. I'm out.